So let's go ahead and start with this movie stuff. Um, so I want to say last time we talked about this, one of the movies that I don't know why somehow just eluded me. Um, but for some reason I forgot to mention. I think it was He-Man and like Super Mario Bros. And hold on, let me see where I had it here. Boom, no, that ain't it. Boom, here we go. It was like He-Man, Super Mario Bros. And I'm like, hold on, how am I missing this? Because it's technically like big blockbuster movie. So I was kind of shocked that I actually missed that one. Hold on, but I'm gonna get the list out here for you guys because it's kind of thought it was interesting to discuss because there's a few reasons why we're discussing this. Um, the talk right now is is the theater dead? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we truly living in a time where people are no longer interested in going to go see movies in the theater? Is it all streaming? Are there any movies worth watching in the theaters anymore? Um, are movies even worth watching? Period. You know what I'm saying? Due to I don't know, I guess uh, kind of just some of the crap that's kind of gets put out there. I ain't gonna listen. Some movies out there really aren't worth it. Um, but there are some honorable mentions, I would say. Um, I went to go see that Hail Mary Project movie. I didn't even know it was based on a real book, or not a real book. That it was based on a book, which was interesting to find out. And so I have no idea if it's anything relative um, to the like how close it is to the book or not. The reason I'm mentioning it though is because it is really worth the mention because it technically is an Apple movie, I guess. It's and seeing that it's doing well in theater, again, it just goes to show the reason I'm bringing this up. I think and I should have brought up the numbers, but the last I checked, it was doing pretty decent. And again, it just goes to show that look, like I think these movies that are made by streaming platforms, probably for the streaming platform, doesn't mean that there isn't a space for them in the theaters, right? So I do love when you see Apple, whether it's Apple, whether it's Amazon via MGM, um, and then even Netflix take swings, man, and make these movies for the theatrical experience as well. Which obviously, Netflix, they've been really, and I don't blame them. Look, their bread and butter isn't streaming. They are the streaming king. We all know that. It is what it is. But it's like, bro, I need them to just take bigger swings when it comes to this theatrical stuff. Um, Obviously, I know that there's like contracts and things that go behind that, and negotiations and deals that are made. So I don't know. Maybe they haven't come across a decent enough deal to go hard on the theatrical releases. And that is the shady part, or the grind, or the doggy dog world of I guess showbiz for that matter. But I mentioned this because again, I went to go see this in theater. I had no idea that it was based off a book. I had no idea that it was Apple. Um, but it turns out that it is. And I gotta say, man, like it really is a good movie. I enjoyed it theatrically. Um, it's not action packed. There are some sequences that are, I guess you could say, can give you a thrill. Like it's kind of, the anxiety of things, like type of thing, like like are they gonna make it? He's gonna make it, whatever type of scenarios. That's as about as action as it gets, but so it's like long-winded in dialogue. Some scenes are probably like too much longer than they need to be, but for the most part, it was an enjoyable movie. I laughed. I, almost got teary-eyed there a couple moments. Like I said, there are moments where I'm like, oh man, what's going on? There's, and I will say, even I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna end it there. I don't want to give away too much of the movie. I was about to say something that I think would give away something that maybe is a better for a surprise if you go watch this movie in theater, or even if you watch, just wait for it to come out on Apple. But um, it's a movie worth the watch. Um, but again, that was Apple taking a big swing. Project Hail Mary, not Hail Mary Project Hail Mary. It's got Ryan Gosling in it. So it's an Andy Weir novel, apparently, an adaptation of it. Again, great film. I recommend it. Um, Apparently, so what I am seeing here now, as far as Universal is concerned, a lot of good movies coming out from Universal. Um, like I said, I don't know how I missed. Maybe I did touch on Super Mario Galaxy movie. Um, but hold on, almost forgot something here, guys. Da, 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 da. So what I want to start doing, boom, let's do that. Let's do this, boom, bam. So some of the top movies we're going to be seeing this year, right? And we're going somewhere with this, so just bear with me here. I'm going to discuss some of these movies coming out, but there are some two major movies that I think are going to be the highlight of the year. That are definitely, well, three major movies, and I mentioned them the last time, but it's not to actually take away. Like I think Super Mario Galaxy movie for Universal is going to be great. I think it's April 1 or 3rd, 1st or 3rd. Wait, either it's coming out. No, it's coming out April 3rd, I think is when it's coming out. So this Friday it's coming out. I think that's going to do well. I'm going to probably go watch it. I like the first one. The first one was funny, great, a lot of action, good story plot. Again, if you're a fan of that world, it was great to watch. So that's a must see, I think, in my opinion. This Friday, go check it out. They got Minions 3. That's obviously going to be a home run hit. Minions 3 never misses, or Minions never miss. It's again, whether you're a fan of the Despicable franchise, the Minions, right? Like this is it. Illumination doing their thing. I think Hunger Games: Sunrise of the I will say I think that's going to do good in theaters as well, but I'm not so sure because I'm like, man, it feels like so there's actually a few movies that are tied to like major franchises, but I'm like, it's gonna take a lot to get that momentum back. That whatever momentum you had when you first released your franchise cinematically, that I feel like you have to kind of try and win back. So I don't know. There's got to be a way that they market these movies properly. Hunger Games being one of them. Maybe find a way to air them on TV or via streaming platforms so people get reacquainted with that franchise. And then boom, leading to the release or the release date of when it appears in theaters, which I believe is November 20th. Minions 3, by the way, is July 1st, so that's going to be an interesting week. But November is when Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping comes out. It's pretty much going to be a prequel to the original Hunger Game films. I will say, I'm kind of talking smack when I say that. I'm not so sure if it has the same momentum because I feel like when I was in theater and I saw that trailer pop out, a lot of people were actually interested in that movie. Or you can hear the talking, the happening in the theater, as well as the group that I was with, or the people I was with when I saw that trailer. So I think that'll be a good movie. And obviously, I think this is going to be Universal's biggest hit. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I mean, it might be either, maybe Super Mario's or Minions 3, but in my opinion, I think it's going to be the Odyssey. For sure, by far, my bias is, leaning in that direction. And I only say, and I say, yeah, I say it's the Odyssey, and that's, I think it's actually Lionsgate, but they're partner, they're partnered with Universal, if I'm correct. But it's definitely the Odyssey. Again, Christopher Nolan, you top tier director of our lifetime. I just don't see him missing. He never does. Even for people that have their, I don't know, their critiques of certain films, Tenet being one of them, I guess. I personally love Tenet. I I don't have the same issue many others have. I think after seeing it a few times, I was like, okay, I get it. We're not going to get into that conversation. It's kind of like another rabbit hole there. But I believe the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon. You know, I don't see that one missing. Personally, my one of my favorites of this year that I anticipating to watch. Like if there is a movie I must watch in theater, it is for sure that one. Or that's one of them I would say. Um, as far as the other ones that I mentioned, uh, like yeah, I want to watch Super Mario's in theater. Not pressed on it, but I want to. Same thing with not Minions. Minions I can kind of waited on that. Hunger Games I'd probably like to see that in theater too. If not though, I won't be disappointed in myself. The Odyssey. If I don't watch that in theater, I'll be disappointed in myself like 100%. Definitely excited to see that one. Um, what else we got here in this movie slates for this year? So that was Universal via or Lionsgate via Universal in general, what part of their slate. Um, let's see. Amazon. Now, Amazon, MGM Studios, I would say for me personally, that Masters of the Universe trailer. Oh, hold on, almost forgot. The Odyssey, for those who are interested in watching it, it comes out. Well, it's supposed to come out this summer. I'm not sure why I don't see a date yet. I'm not sure if they have a date yet, but it's supposed to come out this summer. So if somebody knows the date to that, please put it in the comment section. I'll be sure to check it out. Yo, we got Mr. J in the comment section, bro. Appreciate you sliding through. Salute to you, my brother. Just here talking movies right quick. There's going to be plenty of things that we're going to discuss via our, chopping it up about things, you know what I'm saying? But right now we're starting with cinema, movies, of course. Just highlighting some of my, I guess you could say, movies that I'm anticipating to go see in theater, as well as those that I have seen in theater, or even streaming for that matter. Probably, I want to keep it just to the theater. I want to focus on that because I think I want to get to this comment Ryan Gosling making. Matter of fact, I should have said it when I was talking about Project Hail Mary. Now I'll discuss it now. So why I'm focusing on the theater aspect. But he made an interesting point, and obviously this discussion of the, is the theater form dying, or, I think even like Timothy Chalamet's made a comment about this recently too, about the certain art forms that kind of, come and go, whatever, blah, blah. He kind of got some heat for it. I don't know why. It's a logical discussion to be had. But Ryan Gosling said something that I was like, you know what? That's true. And I've seen other people make this kind of comment too. So it's not even to say it's only him. But essentially it's like, make a good movie and people will go see it in theaters. If you make something interesting enough to get people out their seats or off their couches, out of their homes, out of their four walls, and go see the sunlight, go touch some grass, go out on the street, go walk on the sidewalk and get to the theater, they'll do it if the movie calls for it. So that was a pretty good statement on his behalf, I would say. So kudos to him on that. And that's why I'm focusing on movies that I'm interested in seeing in theater. I will say, though, there are definitely movies that are worth the watch even on streaming that are coming out, but I'm focusing on theaters for now. But again, the Odyssey comes out this summer. Go, keep your eyes out on that. Again, if you know the date, if there's like a specific date that I'm not seeing here, let me know. But like I said, Masters of the Universe via Amazon MGM Studios. That comes out June 5th. Definitely a movie. If you haven't seen the trailers, I'm not going to put them on here because I'm trying not to get hit, and I'm not trying to break down. If I was breaking down the trailer, that'd be a way of doing it, but I'm not going to do that. But definitely worth the watch, guys. To see or not. Like my boy Pin said last time he was on. He's like, he likes to go see movies without any like knowledge of what to expect sometimes, unless he knows it's a movie that he doesn't really care too much for, that won't, move him or won't make or break, he'll watch it. But if it's a movie he's highly anticipating, he won't watch the trailers because he'd rather go in there with a fresh mind, fresh eyes, fresh ears, which again, valid point, valid strategy. But me personally, I'm too much of a fiend for movies that I have to watch trailers just to see, whatever. Mr. J, appreciate you, brother. So July 16th is when the Odyssey comes out, guys. Make sure to check that out. It looks good. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. Again, Nolan is cooking. Great score to it. Sounds good. Sounds good. Looks good. And if you're a fan of the Odyssey story plot, you know, the Homer book and all that stuff, you want to see this, right? This is essentially, from what it looks like, it's going to be pretty much what comes after Troy. You know what I'm saying? This is what comes after Troy. If anybody's ever seen the movie Troy or even seen the show on Netflix, you know, there's certain adaptations that are out there. This is essentially what follows from what it looks like. You know, it's the journey that Odysseus goes on. But anyways, go check it out. Check out the trailer if you haven't seen it. If not, or if you have seen it and you're as excited as me, July 16th is the date. Make sure to check it out. We got Mr. J in the chat. He says, I'll probably go watch all those movies you have on screen at the theater except for Toy Story 5 and Dune. Wait, so you won't go see Dune? Now that's interesting. Toy Story 5, I could understand. I kind of fell off the Toy Story. And you know what? I'll be honest, disclosure here. I didn't set these movies on here per se. I kind of just, it was like a random choice of films coming out. Somehow this Batman made it on there. I'm not so sure there's a Batman movie coming out, but it also looks like it's the Superman crest. So I think that's essentially what it was going for. I don't know what happened there, or the Supergirl movie. I don't know if that's what I was going for. Or maybe it's telling us something I don't know. Now, I will say, I'm interested in why you aren't going to go watch Dune on screen, because to me, that's actually my second, and I was going to go there, second movie to go watch in theater. One of the other movies that I'm anticipating to watch. Okay, but yes, Masters of the Universe. Go check it out. June 5th, it comes out. So check out the trailer. Be excited for that as well. That's Amazon MGM. The Wrecking Crew, that comes out on Prime. Again, that looked pretty good too. The trailer that I saw for it, but that is that. Eternity, I have to still see that, but somebody said that they saw the trailer to it and they actually thought it looked good. I haven't seen it yet, so I gotta go check that out. But Crime 101, I will say, was a really good movie. If you haven't seen it already, that's definitely worth the watch. But I think it's already out of theaters, to be honest. I could be wrong. Now, Paramount, you know, scary movie franchise. I'm not, you know, that I think is one of the ones I'm excited for again. But not like, again, I don't have to see it in theaters, but I would like to see it in theaters. But that's because that's more of a nostalgic thing for me. I came up on the scary movie, the parody, horror spoof, a franchise. So that's that for me. You got and that comes out June 5th as well. So that's interesting. If that's what's competing against, did I say, where was, hold on, how did I lose you already? Did I say, I did say June 5th, Masters of the Universe. I don't know how scary movie is going to compete against that, to be honest. That's kind of crazy. Scream 7, I didn't go see, but I heard a few people liked it. Now, I do think, I will say, actually, no. Oh, here we go. Hold on. He said, I couldn't get into the first one, honestly. Really? Oh, that's interesting, brother. That is interesting. Man, I thought, to me personally, everything's just on point, Now, unless you're coming from a place like my homie Fatal J, which I gotta have him on to actually have that Dune discussion. We for sure talked about it a bit. Actually, I could probably do this right quick. We for sure talked about it a bit. Trying to find like a good Here we go. Let's just stick to that. We for sure talked about it a bit the last time he was on, but I know for sure when it comes to him, he's it's a thing about like him being a fan of the actual, I guess, one, the series, like the books itself, and then he was a very big fan of like the TV sci-fi series that came out on Sci-Fi, I think is what he said. He actually shared me a link where I actually got to watch, and I will say it was good. But personally, for me, it didn't sway me from thinking that was any better than the movies. I do think there's some things that came from that series that were, I guess, in a way better explained, I guess, than the movie. But again, you're comparing a series that's a longer format to movies that are trying to, compress, information and stories. So that's one. But two, honestly, there are certain things that they did in the movie that I thought were way better than the series. So again, I don't know what it was. I do know some people felt it was kind of a slow burn, the first one. I would implore you, bro, like watch it, try and muster through it. I don't know if it said it's too much of a slow burn. I don't know, man. Like drink some coffee, Red Bull, or something. I don't know what it would take. Maybe have a snack so that you're at least there watching, because the second part for sure builds up. Like, and the second part really like ups the ante, dude. So and leading into this third part, this third part that's about to come out. So again, I think it's worth the watch. He said, I think it's streaming on Prime already for Crime 101. Right. Okay, exactly. I thought so too. So again, good movie to watch. It was, but I actually saw that one in theater. I thought it was a good movie. The Angry Birds movie, third one. Did that one already come out already? Or I think it's supposed to come out. I think that should do good. And then I see that there's also the new SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know. I think that's for sure a kids film that should do well, relatively well. I'm not so sure how many people are excited to watch that, but I'm sure family wise, kids wise, as far as Angry Birds, SpongeBob, I think those are hits because of the kid factor, family friendly stuff like that. Now, obviously, I'd be remiss not to mention this. Sony for sure has got a banger coming out July 31st. If you don't know, you will know now. We got Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out July 31st. I mean, if you saw the trailer, you saw the trailer. There's things to be excited about. Especially seeing that it looks like Disney and Marvel, or Sony, Disney, Marvel are kind of removing things, you know what I'm saying, to course correct, I would say, what was definitely a drought for them cinematically and even streaming wise, where I would say what I guess corrected that path, in my opinion, would be, well, one, let's just state this. Spider-Man No Way Home did its thing. Sony, properly put that out. They did they set it out the right way. So I think that was right. I think Daredevil versus Wolverine, that also shifted things for Marvel as a whole, to get people excited for it. And then obviously their way of rolling out this Doomsday, with these little trailers, teasers, snippets, and kind of little leaks here and there. They're properly putting information out there for that to succeed. But then I would say streaming wise, that Daredevil Born Again series really helped also get people excited for that, or maybe even brought in a new fan base for those that were really fans of that Netflix Marvel universe, which we knew loosely tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like there was always the dialogue in between each episode that kind of revealed that they were insinuating they were part of that world, even though they weren't directly connected until now that Disney acquired them, which was probably why even Disney allowed them to do that, because it was probably that this was always part of the plan. Like they knew eventually they were going to buy it back, or I don't know if they bought it back. I think the licensing that Netflix had for them came to an end, I think is what happened. I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, that Daredevil Born Again series, if you're watching it already, kudos to you. I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of in the process of watching, catching up on Stranger Things, believe it or not. with the wife. But once that we're done with that, we definitely are gonna hop right into that Daredevil series. Um, which I got her acquainted into that as well, so that was kind of cool. So we're definitely excited for that. But again, just knowing the characters that are coming back, from or that already came back, right? Like you got Punisher. Looks like Jessica Jones is back. I'm not so sure, and somebody's correct me if I'm wrong or let me know, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get Iron Fist or Luke Cage. That would be cool, honestly. Even for however you felt about how I guess maybe the lack of appeal with Iron Fist in the Netflix series, um, it wouldn't be bad to still bring that guy back and then again make the tweaks that you need to make to have the delivery of that character properly done 100%. Because it's not to say that they had it all bad. You know what I'm saying? There were some things that I did like about about that character in the Netflix Marvel universe, for that matter, when it comes to Iron Fist or Danny Rand. And honestly, my biggest gripe was just that they never actually gave him his suit or the costume, the way he's supposed to look with the, essentially the Daredevil look, in the first season, right, of Netflix, right? Except, just cut the eyes into it. And they gave him that look for like one of the flashback scenes. But when it came to like him in modern time, in present time, he wasn't, he was just in like civilian clothes. And I thought that was kind of just goofy, like just have him go full on in, embrace the shirt off, pants, that karate look, so to speak. You know what I mean? But either way, all these moves are orienting to, even like it looks from what I heard and seen in other episodes or other shows, you could say that there are hints and ideas that we are, or actually, matter of fact, that we might even get Daredevil in that movie, which would be crazy. And I'm excited for that. And obviously, it's already been linked that Punisher is going to be part of that movie. So, I mean, who's not excited to see this movie, right? So, Spider-Man, Brand New Day for sure. Excited to see that. July 31st, definitely got to see that in theater. And if you're a fan of Jumanji, the Jumanji series franchise, the third installment's coming out December 11th. Me personally, that's not a film I care to watch in theater. Not that I hate it or love it. I think they're good movies. I've watched them. They're funny, all that. Again, that just not something I'm eager to go watch in theater, but I know it has its audience. I know it's going to do well. Let's keep it moving. Warner Brothers, I think they got a lot of bangers coming out. Some for sure. I'm not really too certain. I think The Mummy, April 17th, that's coming out this month. I think that's going to be a good movie. I mean, again, I'm a fan of the Mummy franchise. Always have been from day one. My boy Pin, for sure. If you hang around with us, I think we've even probably done it on here a few times. We quote some of the lines from those movies. It's definitely part of our zeitgeist of communication. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for The Mummy. I think it'll do well. I think they got and I'm glad that they're actually. It's going to be more of a major horror, so they're leaning more into that, which is, I think that's going to be good. Where obviously the original one, they kept it, I would say, PG-13, or they found a medium between somewhat scary to like, let's still keep this fun and friendly and family oriented, and all that's fine. But I think leaning more into the horror aspect of it, I think is going to be a good touch. I think it was a good touch even when they did that one with was it Tom Cruise, I believe, that version of it, that adaptation. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not even sure that even connects to the franchise. So I don't know. That's an interesting. I got to look at. Mr. J says, I'm interested in that Mummy movie. I want to see where they go with. Yeah, same here. Same here. Definitely interested in it. It's again, I was definitely a fan of the franchise. With the Brandon guy, I forget his name. Brandon something. I forget his name. But okay, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. we have a surprise guest in the building, and I'm glad he came in because it's right on time. Like right discussion, right. We're gonna get into some things. Without further ado, guys, we got the homie Sil Abdul.
What's good, man? Hey, man, this caught me on a good night. I'm on my officially on my Easter break now, so I'm off. Got an extended weekend through next Monday, so
nice.
So feeling good. Feeling good right now. So yeah, I kind of saw some of your topics. I was like, I probably want to make this one.
Yes, sir. Right now, just kind of brushing on some movies, that are coming out, things that I'm interested in.
Shout out to Mr. J.
Yeah, Mr. J in the building. He said, "Not the
little inside joke with that one.
Right. But yeah, so right now I was talking about what was I talking? Oh, The Mummy. The Mummy's coming out. I'm kind of interested in that again. So apparently it's not connected to the older franchise. Either way, that kind of I was always interested in that franchise. So personally, that's a movie I'm excited to go see. I think Mortal Kombat 2, that's coming out May 8th. I think that'll be something I'm going to go watch in theaters as well.
That's just like, you got to go to theaters. You know what I mean? Like there's certain movies, it's like, I gotta go check it out.
And that's essentially what I'm kind of like picking out my theater favorites for this year. That I think are worth the watch. So Mortal Kombat 2 for sure is one of them. Did you see the first one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was the one we was all in lockdown. Yeah. And it streamed to HBO Max day and date with the theater. And I wasn't going. The only time I went to theaters during COVID, I think, was what was that Nolan film? Was it Tenet? Yeah. Tenet. I went to go see that in theater. I think it was something else, but just certain films I was like, I'm gonna watch on HBO Max, and Mortal Kombat was one of those.
Yeah.
But it just, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, what I mean? It's world building and it set up everything, and so I think I'm gonna enjoy the second one, and I'm really looking forward to Street Fighter though. I think Street Fighter is gonna be
Street Fighter.
Pretty big.
That's another one. It's funny when I look up movies that are coming out. That there's some that I keep missing when I put it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what movie? Street Fighter is definitely one of them that I'm for sure looking forward to. Since we're talking Mortal Kombat, that's definitely great that we're talking about that. But yeah, I agree with you. Mortal Kombat, I saw it. I also saw it on the streaming. I didn't go to the theater for it. But I felt like it. The reason I thought it was appropriate to just watch it on the platform on HBO was because I'm like, it's their reboot essentially. Like they're launching, and I was like, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth the watch. And I guess I wasn't wrong either. Look, I thought it looked good, but I did have issues with some parts of the story. The main character, I was like, kind of like, that's it, like.
Well, he had literal plot armor, like that was his power.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Plot armor.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, so that's it. That's his power. That's literally what it is. So like, all right,
that's what y'all going for. Okay.
Yeah, I will say I did like the scorpion aspect to it, all that stuff.
That was probably the best. That and was a Sub-Zero. I like the whole dynamic.
That dynamic, I thought that was dope. Yeah. So I would say that what I'm interested in this one is it definitely looks like it's tying more into the tournament aspect of it, which is back to the main core concept of Mortal Kombat. So that's why I'm like, all right, definitely worth the watch. I think in theater for me. But Street Fighter for sure. I'm there with you.
I think it's gonna be crazy. I think that's gonna be just a fun. It's time we get back to just like event films and fun films. Like you got the Mario Brothers, like. Just to go there, and I just want to see some Nintendo stuff, man, that I grew up seeing. That's all. I'm not expecting much for a lot of these films. It's just have fun with it.
Right, exactly. Now I will say, like, Supergirl, I'm not made up on that yet. I'll be honest, I'm not made up on that yet. As of where I'm at now, probably won't go see it in theater. As of where I'm at now.
So the trailer, right? I mean, you saw the latest trailer?
That's why it's that trailer.
I thought that was the best foot they could put forward, though. I know it may not be saying much for a lot of people, but it's just.
Oh, are you talking about the new one?
Yeah, you see the new.
No, I haven't seen the new one. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh yeah, that's up to you. Yeah, check it out.
You want to look at it now?
Okay. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Let's look at it.
It'll be interesting. Going off the first trailer. I did my videos on that, and I was just like, bro, and people know me. I'm looking forward to this film, and I was just like, man, that first trailer, I was like, oh, come on, Gunn, like, what are we doing? This new one, I'm interested in seeing what you think.
Okay, let's go ahead and put this out here. Pause that right quick.
That may be an interesting live reaction from
right.
I'm not even gonna say nothing else. I'm just gonna see.
Right. Let me make sure I put on my headset for this. And you're not getting any feedback, are you?
No.
Okay, interesting. Let's just keep this off for now. See what happens. No, actually,
yeah, your sound's good, but yeah, I don't know if you like on your end.
I sound good over here, but at the same time, I don't know what it sounds like for you.
Yeah. And it's good,
especially because usually if you don't have the headset, it catches you. You know what I mean. But if it's not, which is dope.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, let's just keep it like this. Then let's keep it funky. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. Oops, trailer. Boom.
Right. I'm at the clip this. So we're gonna
right.
Let's see what you think.
All right. So this is gonna be the oopsies. What is going on here? This is going to be the reaction. Let's look at this. Hold on, sorry guys. Kind of lost where I was at with this. All right. Let's go ahead and press play.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara. I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people.
And this is definitely different.
Yeah.
Okay, the tone is already different. I like that.
I
like that.
Yeah, that's the first thing I picked up on too. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm liking that. Which is good because that first one kind of we both agree it set like a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Gunn vibe.
You felt the Gunn notes in the first trailer.
You definitely did. This I feel rings more truer to the actual director. But let's go ahead and keep watching.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
As I walk this land of road,
Crypto and I at least had each other.
I have visions of
Honestly, I thought we were lucky. But luck, almost by definition, runs out. What can I do?
The Brickens carry the antidote on that person. He has 3 days.
You cannot.
Okay. I will say with that music choice though, after it
I don't like the music.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't
doing that Gunn thing.
Yeah, exactly. So and before you go forward, I heard about different test screenings for this, and I did hear it's gonna be like multiple like needle drop songs in this film. That's a James Gunn thing. Like, that's a Guardians thing. And so it's like with that music, I was like, okay, the tone started off like, okay, this is Craig Gillespie's film, right? The director. And then it's like, okay, this is something Gunn would do, play this type of music. So that threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, same. And there's a few things to say also, but I'll wait to the end. But I'm just sticking to the more obvious things.
All right. Like Jay said, yeah, it doesn't go with the film.
Right.
It's the crime of the Yellow Hills. Who murdered my innocent family.
Just do what I say. And don't die. This does not look like this is gonna end well for you guys.
Oof.
strong.
hurting my head.
We got them Jason Momoa.
Right.
Now what becomes of the broken-hearted?
Okay.
Okay, again, back on the song, because again, it takes over the whole trailer, and I just like, I'm not like the first trailer they had that I think was like a Blondie song. They actually should have kept rocking with that song, actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the tone they're showing here, and you're like, okay, you're going to kind of rock out with some girl power or whatever they're trying to do that. This here, I'm just like, again, you're making he's not Gunn, but you're making a Gunn film. That's what it's feeling like.
Yeah. And then so far there's shots that feel like they're gunshots, like color tones and stuff, and even dynamics of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some that actually look like, okay, this actually looks more like an original shot, like
There's a couple good shots, yeah, especially
a couple good shots in there. Actually, that actually looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the tone. The tone is what I'm wrestling with. It's like, okay, the first like 10 seconds, he was like, oh, I'm kind of feeling this. It's feeling, and then that needle drop, the song comes in, and just the tone gets all over the place, you know?
Right. Like Mr. J said, song is great, but doesn't go with
the film. Exactly.
Right,
that's what it's these creative choices. And again, people say, oh, Gunn's not the director. We understand that, but with Marvel, if you have a problem with any Marvel film, who do you blame? Kevin Feige, right? Gunn is the Feige of DC. This was on him. So yeah.
Right. No, exactly. Some Cyndi Lauper music would have been better.
Maybe, like I said, the first song they had, I thought that song actually worked. I thought it was a good introduction. That first trailer, I just didn't like the tone of the trailer. Now I was liking the tone of this trailer, but the music's throwing me off.
Right?
So,
exactly.
It's like, man.
Just can't get right. Just can't get right.
That's DC in a nutshell since 2017. Can't get right.
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
There's a couple good shots in this. Look, I like this shot here. That's a good shot.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. A lot of pain, a lot of suffering.
There's no home without you, buddy.
So is this like John Wick, Supergirl style?
Yeah, it's like the John Wick. What's that other True Grit type of thing?
Yeah,
but Supergirl style. Yeah, that's really
or James Gunn style.
And Gunn style. And then it's the through line. Gunn publicly said he wrote his Superman film starting with Krypto. And so now Krypto is like the Nick Fury of DC, which he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be, bro. So I'm a little worried about that as well too.
Krypto's becoming the Grogu right now. You know what I'm saying? What Grogu is to Star Wars right now, that's what Krypto right now is for DC.
My problem is that, because I know Krypto, if people know the comic, you know, which is actually a decent comic that's based on, but I mean, they're not totally like, you know how Zach adapted Watchmen,
right?
That's not what they're doing with it. Like they're taking some liberties,
not
right?
But at all.
So Krypto's a big part of that story. They should have saved Krypto for this film. He shouldn't have been such a big part of Superman 2025. So that's again another creative choice that Gunn. I think he failed. He dropped the ball with that.
I agree. All right, let's finish this off.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.
I like that. See, that's the thing. I'm so torn because if I said this all year, I said this should be a Lobo Supergirl team up film.
Right.
You would sell more tickets if you pushed this a year ago. That is Lobo and Supergirl, and they tried to hide him in the first trailer. Now you see him full front. And it's like, okay, I want to see that movie. Lobo and Supergirl just beating up people the whole movie, but it's not that. That's not what we're getting.
Right. No, 100%. No, I would say that's one of the issues for sure. Again, there's just parts of the scenery shots that were just like felt like gun shots, like like you could tell he gave notes here, notes there, while some other shots are like, that's a good shot, like great cinematics,
because Craig Gillespie is a good director. This is probably the most like CGI film he's ever going to do, though. But he does more personable, like the I, Tonya story with Margot Robbie years ago. That's more of a character driven, and so he's good at telling character stories. This is the most sci-fi thing he's ever done. Maybe he wasn't the right guy, if for his style, because he has to take from gun notes. You know what I mean? So it's going to be some tonal issues, and that's what the screen tests have been saying, and you see it in the trailer.
Right. Do you think? How do you think it's actually going to do, though?
I'm going to stick with what I heard. My gun box office info have been pretty solid this whole time with James Gunn's Superman 2025. I was told the number was 500, and they will celebrate if they get past that. And y'all saw it end up with 614. They somehow found $20 million more like months later than they had to delete. I don't know how that happened, but but it was in that range that I was told, and I was like, okay, and that was confirmed. So with Supergirl, also they're expecting Black Adam numbers that are not high on how this will really go.
That's what they're okay with.
And I was told too that they will come out saying, "Oh, we didn't spend too much on it." Then it came out, "Oh, we only spent $100 million." But people are disputing they may have spent $200 million on this film. But I heard their numbers 375. That's around Black Adam territory. Sub 400 million. I'll say right now, if Supergirl gets more than 400 million, then you'll see James Gunn running laps like celebrating. I just don't see it happening because of the shaky test screenings. What everyone's saying about these trailers, there's no consensus. And that's because at least with Superman, when they gave you that trailer, I think it was the first one. Right. Everyone was like, it's Superman. We're going to check in general. Yeah, we're going to check it out because it's Superman. Right. Supergirl doesn't have that cachet universally. And then Superman didn't really do great internationally. So Supergirl is, it's facing an uphill battle overall.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is. You're 100% right about that. I think, in my opinion, because Superman was mid at best, I'm saying like,
that's a performance. It is a mid performance.
It didn't give enough legs to be too hyped. Like for anybody who was interested in that, I don't think the connection isn't there for like, oh, I gotta go see Supergirl 1. Unfortunately for Supergirl, in that film.
Just briefly though, this Supergirl, there's better shots in this than you saw in Superman though.
But that's the crazy part, right? Yeah. There's better shots in this trailer alone that we just watched than all of Superman, hands down.
So it's like it's tough. It's tough for this.
It's tough. It sucks for again the director because it looks like he tried his best.
Yeah,
that's
what's gonna suck. Yeah,
unfortunately, Gunn is his anchor weighing him down. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, if this was a Wonder Woman film, then I think first it would be a different template going on here, but you could sell that. But like Wonder Woman became a box office star, because again, Snyderverse, Gal Gadot, internationally, right?
Right.
And it's just, this is a disservice for Supergirl because again, Superman came out mid. So then you should come with Wonder Woman or Batman. If you're not going to do Batman, do Wonder Woman next. And then you can pick up that audience like, okay, we love the icon Wonder Woman. It's not Superman. So it's different. Supergirl just, what is this brand, right? And then we're going to find out. It's not, it's sub 400 million, and if it makes under 300 million, that's a total bomb.
Yeah, no, I think there's, like you said,
got good down. That's just crazy.
Yeah, you saw that. Right? No, but it's funny that you brought up Wonder Woman, and that was low-key what was running through my mind, right? Because I'm like, because I know the conversation will be that too, right? Like, oh, a woman hero, that angle, whatever. But it's kind of, there's no excuse for that, because when you have a movie as successful as Wonder Woman, and that kind of character. Now, granted, can we argue that Wonder Woman maybe is more renowned than Supergirl?
No, it is. Yeah, that's my point.
Right?
That became that, in was it 2017 when the Gal Gadot, and that was a feminist film, but it hit internationally. They did it right. That's my point. They did it right, and it was under the Snyderverse umbrella.
Right. I'll say this too. This might stir up. It's
a chop shop. So we're ready.
This is the chop shop. But I will say this. Here's another aspect to consider, and I know women will want to hear this. Anybody who's too sensitive about what I'm about to say, but we do live in a visual world, right?
Oh, for sure.
Appeal and things of that nature matter.
That's business.
So I say that to say, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot's just
she's a model.
She's a model. She's beautiful.
Right. Very appealing, to see.
Yeah. Now, Supergirl, she kind of ugly.
She has a good personality. Okay,
personality.
She's like someone you went to school with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no.
The comparison is crazy. Now, here's
it's no comparison. Yeah.
And this is gonna be crazy, I guess, but here, look. We're talking about, and this is what kind of is I don't want to say it's frustrating, but I guess it's disappointing to see, because it goes back to the can't get right situation, right? And I say that to say, it's look, I know that there's a female audience, and you're trying to maybe comic wise there's a female audience, but on a general audience level, you're trying to grab that audience as well, right? To become more interested in comic book characters and whatever. But here's the truth: it's still a male dominant fan base that goes to see these movies, get that world, right? And so even when you look at Supergirl the cartoon, Supergirl the comic book character, they draw her out. They illustrate her out very voluptuous, very.
In the comics, Kara's beautiful in the comics. I
feel like we're looking at the She-Hulk situation, right? Even She-Hulk in the cartoons and the comics, they make her voluptuous regardless,
right?
And she's a, they make her a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Where then when you got the show, the series, it was what?
Yeah, she was like. Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
That's
a similar thing. Now, I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I feel like it's a no.
No. You're right, because see, the thing, studies show with female characters. First off, you're in a male dominated genre, right? So it's got to be some appeal there. It's got to be eye candy. I mean, I don't think that's wrong or politically incorrect to say, right? It's to sell these comics. Go to your local comic shop and see the women comics. Yeah. Okay, come on now. Now, Amelia Alcock, I'm not gonna say she's totally fugly, but
I went hard.
She probably no. That's nothing wrong with it. I mean, she probably looks more like a daddy, right? That's the type of woman she's gonna say. I ain't gonna trip. She has a daddy's features, probably, right?
Right.
But her I was more intrigued with her as a performer. I thought she was great in House of Dragon.
Oh, 100%.
I think she's the best thing in this film as far as her performance. Now, if we're talking about, again, eye candy, then, it's subjective, right? But I will say, too, you made a good point as far as and that's the question. This is rhetorical when I say this. Who is the audience, right, for this film? Because if you're trying to get us male geeks, then we know how Kara Zor-El looks in the comics. It's okay, you gotta, come on now. But if you're gonna do this with the women audience, you saw they show up for stuff like Barbie. Margot Robbie's beautiful,
and Margot Robbie's beautiful.
Women love, what I'm saying. They want to be beautiful like her. With Supergirl, it's Are they going Gen Z? Because Gen Z, just according to reports, and every time I mention Gen Z, I get people in the comments. They're like, "You don't know Gen Z, old man." Like, but all I'm saying is that we're all still trying to figure out the market for you Gen Zers. Okay, like y'all really don't drink like that, but she got her as a drunk in the film. Right. They don't like love interest, so you're not going to see love interest for her in this film because Gen Z don't like. Y'all weird, okay? You Gen Z, your people, y'all weird, okay? But they don't know how to sell to y'all, right? So it's like this film is stuck. This is like a focus group movie, and I don't know what quadrant they're hitting with except logo because it's Jason Momoa. So you have a mix. You have a classic art of a mixed audience film. I don't know who this is for by the time it comes out. It's unfortunate.
No, that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to understand the demographic, the audience. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because again, the choice is made here between nothing. You're right. The actress herself is a great actress.
I think she's a great performer.
She's a great performer, and she's cute in the right scenario. The way they have her in this film, though, she's definitely not a cute drunk. I'll tell you that much. You don't look like a cute drunk. There are some girls out there that at least when they're drunk still look cute.
But that's that Gen Z. Again, Vega, like we're a generation away from, I think, where they're going for with this. So I'm like, I don't know how this is landing. To be
even if we're going to say that, is Gen Z? This is, I think, and maybe you know more about this when I asked this, but like, are they even into the theaters like we were?
That's the question, because or after a couple drinks, but it's and the lights are down. But it's like with the feedback from films, Gen Z, because it's still an untapped market.
Right.
If you go for their childhood, then you have Lilo and Stitch. They showed up in droves.
Right.
For specific age groups, they showed up for Minecraft.
Right.
Things like that. Gen Z, Supergirl. They was trying to, I think, get an audience with that, but they didn't satisfy like our audience, action films, beautiful women. I mean, that's just what it is, you know. Right. But the Lobo part, I think we're gonna like that, but he's not that big part of the film, so it's like, it's a mixed bag, and I don't really see, you know. Again, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, women showed up for that film. The numbers show that.
The numbers show
she's a model, and they're like, oh, we aspire. That's what women do. I mean, again,
not only that, but think about this. This is something else we have to consider: the difference between how Wonder Woman was introduced in BVS compared to how Supergirl was introduced in Superman. Two different distinctions.
They hit it. Zack Snyder hit it out of the park, right? I mean, the perfect introduction of Wonder Woman satisfied all of us, action and everything, and she's beautiful, right? Yep. And then women again aspire to be her. So you got a 4-quadrant hit right there.
Yep.
You know, that's why that film made, I think, over like 800 million, which is insane to realize. Wonder Woman made more than Superman solo films. That's insane.
Yeah.
And you don't come with that. Again, another mistake by exec James Gunn. Wonder Woman should have been up next. I mean, I'm fine doing Superman. Again, we can say we won by Henry Cavill and David Cornswell, but I'm fine. You want to reboot with Superman? Fine. If there's a new world, do that. But if next in the chamber, if it's not Batman, it should have been Wonder Woman.
Right. No, 100%. 100%. You got to go with your major players, not. You know, Supergirl reality is still like she's a bench player. You know what I mean? Like.
That is what it is, right?
You know, she's a
TV show.
She's like a Robin or a Batgirl. You know, like they're cool characters, but like, is that really what you're trying to push forward into your universe immediately? Like
for a summer film, Supergirl. It just again, I'm looking for just as like, okay, I want to see Kara Zor-El on the big screen, but the world ain't. You know, this is she's a C-list character.
Yeah.
If we're going to be real about this, if we're talking about the Trinity, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, after that, I say Flash, Lantern, before Supergirl.
Oh, way before. But we're talking about way before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I put her to see, because I think Lantern, I say Flash is more of a B-list. Lantern's teetering there, but Ryan Reynolds, that whole experience probably messed that up.
Yeah.
But Flash is still there, but that bombed in theaters too. Supergirl's now on their level. That's my point. And you're coming with that,
right? Yeah. No, exactly. No, that's right on. That's right on.
Yeah.
Mr. Jason, third string.
It's too bad. It's too bad. Even Aquaman got the B list just because Snyderverse, Momoa kicked in.
Yeah,
but you can't do Aquaman, right now.
No, obviously not. Especially since you decided to make Aquaman logo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, all right, well.
But I still feel like when we write the obituary of James Gunn's DCU, which is probably coming 12 months from now. His contract runs out in 12 months.
Right.
Next April 2027.
Right.
I think one thing on the tombstone is just your second film shouldn't have been Supergirl in theaters. It just shouldn't have been. No matter, it may end up being actually a decent film.
Right.
It's hard to sell this film, especially after Superman. We see the numbers. It did mid. And
right.
This is a tough follow up.
It really is. It really is. And look, here's I would say the writing on the wall to what you're saying, right? And to why even they know DC isn't where it's supposed to be or what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Is because, and even that they know, I would say that they're not even competing. They're not even competing. They're not even competing, bro.
With anything.
Period.
I know we think Marvel first when we say. I'm saying anything.
Yeah, no. In general, just anything.
Toy Story, Minions,
Moana,
nothing. It's not competing,
right? And look, and even they know this, right? And this, I'm going to point this out, and I'll point this out, and which is worth considering. But before we get there, let me just say some honorable mentions for some movie theater that I think, and then we'll go back to this, right? Honorable mentions. I think something that I'm definitely interested in watching. Also is Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
But I'm just a Mandalorian fan, but also that last season, I do have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, no one liked season 3.
Yeah. Personally, I'm over Grogu, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't need Grogu anymore, but or at least I'll put it like this. I don't need him in the Mandalorian context.
I'm gonna push.
I would have preferred to see him with Luke Skywalker. I would have preferred let the Luke Skywalker Jedi School kick off. Grogu be there, and you guys should have flushed out a story there.
So you're saying in a season 2 that should have been when Grogu branched out, because that's the Luke Skywalker moment. He comes in, takes Grogu
at the end of season 2. Grogu goes with Luke Skywalker. Like that was the end of Mando's mission with Grogu.
Yeah, it actually was.
And then
you got to sell toys, baby. You got to sell these toys, bro.
No, I agree.
We all
for me personally, it's like. You should have allowed that to be the moment of baton passing, right?
You should have allowed
the baton. Get off your lazy asses.
Well, you know what they should have did right there?
Which is
do your Luke Skywalker project right there.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
They literally
get off your lazy asses. Get into that Luke Skywalker project. Get the writers. You know what I'm saying? Get the Grogu storyline in there. Jedi School. Like that's what they should have done.
Mando was over, right? If it was all about Mando and Grogu, it should have ended season 2.
At least the Grogu concept.
That story.
Personally, for me, when I saw the passing, and then but at that moment we have the Darksaber. We have
okay, yeah.
Overall,
so more story there. Okay,
that Mando storyline we still got right going back to Mandalore.
Yeah,
that storyline perfect.
Okay,
leading to that moment
without Grogu.
But just do that without Grogu. Like you didn't need Grogu for. Like
I think they fell into that whole Disney thing. The first episode, big fans of Mandalorian. First episode, when you saw Baby Yoda, I think that sealed the fate of everything because it was like Baby Yoda.
No, it did. You're right.
We are cashing so many checks right now off of that, and they weren't going to. Even though the story, we only got 2 seasons of story. No. You better make up 3-4 more seasons of this because this hit. You know what I mean? That's just what what they do, right? And so you got this movie, and I'm with you with that. Maybe they're stretching that story. They are stretching the story because that was a perfect way to end it. Season 2, Luke Skywalker moment. It became a thing. That's a cultural moment right there.
Yeah, it was really a cultural moment, and I thought that that's what I thought they were going to do. In my opinion, I'm like, I think we're about to get a Luke Skywalker story. Him building the Jedi, the new Jedi School, whatever, all that, and then
that would
just wasted.
They did. That was a fumble. That was a fumble.
But yeah, I mean, despite all that, Mandalorian is still one of the best things to watch out there. Although I will say Andor for sure to me is right there.
Andor, but I just wonder what audience that was. It's a quality show. Everyone should be watching Andor. You should have watched both seasons. Right. But I blame marketing. I blame just like I just really put that out there. But yeah,
no, you're 100% right. But you're right. I will say to add on to what you said. You're right. They fell into that formula, and once that Grogu check came in. That first Grogu check came in. They thought they got we got it now, guys. We know what to do going forward, and you saw it in everything. But Andor was the exception, which is why I love Andor. But you saw it in everything, right? Like Bad Batch, I love it, but they have that concept of grown guys taking care of this little kid aspect, right? With Alpha or Omega.
Yeah.
Omega, right?
That was a decent show. Yeah,
no, decent show, but it's that concept. Like we need to have this thing, right? And they did the same thing with Obi-Wan, right? Like we got to have Leia part of the story now with this older man with this younger kid aspect. You know, they did it with everything after that Grogu phenomenon, and then to the point that they said, "Oh, we got to bring Grogu back," and it's whatever. But anyways,
you know, that's why in the theme song of my channel, you know, it's like let's not mention Star Wars. It's the bar. If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say now these are movies that I don't care to watch in theater, but if I watch them, I think they're worth the watch. I think the Moana live action is going to do good. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how they actually adapt that movie live action wise. I'm always willing to see how Disney tackles that, right? You know, making
the kids are going to eat that up.
The kids are going to eat that up for sure.
Because Moana 2, when that like threatened $1 billion, I was like, okay, you got franchise gold right here. That's why I said, okay, immediately let's do live action. This is one of the fastest turnarounds live action ever.
Yeah,
it was like,
100%.
With 2 films big, we got to do the live action. That's the Disney formula now. You know, the animated hits. Let's make it live, Lion King and stuff like that. And again, keep cashing those checks off the same story. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be huge. Moana live action is going to be huge.
Right, exactly. Let's see what else. Toy Story 5, I think that's going to hit, obviously.
Huge.
You know, that's, you know, there's no way that's going to miss. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, but technically this is under the Disney umbrella. The Super Troopers 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I care to watch that in theaters. I might just, you know, if I want to.
I don't know how the numbers go with that, but I mean, I'm sure they're making a profit if they're on a trilogy now. So I'm sure they're making a little money off of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Minions is going to do huge too.
Minions, I talked about that earlier. Yep. Minions 3. Now Ridley Scott apparently the Dog Stars. Did you see that yet?
I have not.
Okay, yeah, me neither. But I had a friend of mine say that they saw it, like they thought they were really interested in that. Again, I like Ridley Scott as a director, so I'm going to check that out, see what they're talking about there.
His Prometheus is severely underrated.
Really underrated.
Severely underrated. And it's a shame it didn't do well enough in the box office. That was like in that pocket of time where, you know, they're messing up BVS, they're messing up, you know, as far as the critics and stuff like that. Right. And Ridley Scott has something with Prometheus different from the Aliens.
Yeah.
Though it connected. And that should have been a whole franchise right there.
I really thought it was.
It's a shame. It's a shame they didn't follow with that.
No, I agree. It's really it sucks how they treated that.
It's funny because Alien Romulus, I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm probably not going to pronounce it right when I say it, but the director of Alien Romulus, he tried to bring Prometheus back into the story.
He did.
But then for the sequel, he left the project over creative differences. So they I don't know what's going on with Alien. I thought they had something. If you want to bring them together, like do that, because there was a Prometheus crowd out there separate from Alien, and he actually brought it together for Alien Romulus. That's why it's a good film.
That's right, exactly.
And like I said, there's people dropping the ball, man. These execs and stuff. Like, what are y'all doing, man?
I don't know what it's crazy. Like, what do you guys do?